Hey, my name's Matt and welcome to the Open Mic Room. Each episode I'll be chatting with a different guest to share some stories and discuss their music. Today we're joined by Chloe Bartlett. Chloe, thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm good. I'm raring to go, you know?
Excellent. So there's a sort of structure to the podcast, not too much, but I like to try and structure it like a 3-song open mic. So I don't know, have you had much experience with open mics? Have you been to many open mic nights?
Yeah, I've been to quite a few actually. It's definitely where I sort of started out. Yeah.
Right, yeah, a lot of people get their start at open mics, don't they? So I like to start with, if we only heard one song, what would be your song to get people from the bar sitting down and listening to you? What would be your go-to song, the one that best summarises you as an artist? I've got some in mind, so we can discuss this.
I think the best one, my pick, would be El Dorado, for certain. It's sort of like westerny, rocky, you know, it covers most of the genres that I cover, but like all in one, you know?
I enjoyed, there's a video of that one on YouTube, isn't there? Was it filmed in a stable?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Do you have a horse, or was
Yeah,
that just a random stable?
A bit grimy that day. My nan actually has 3 of them, so I was quite lucky that we sort of, you know, had a location sort of prepped and ready for that.
The production on all your songs is really high quality. Who do you use for that? Who's been helping you record the music?
So since I was about 15, I've been going to Manor Studio Essex in Braintree. This guy, Rob Jones TV, runs the whole thing himself, does it all. And yeah, he is insane at what he does.
Oh, it's excellent. Yeah, and I think El Dorado is a great choice. I really enjoyed that one. You're drinking whiskey and kicking straw about in a stable.
Yes. Whiskey or apple juice, you know, one of the two.
I heard there's a city far away where the castles grow high and demons play. Angels roam freely. I heard there's a city, won't say its name, but won't you let me loose, and I'll bring the juice, and I'll make it your day. Won't you set me free? Don't know how I'll be in the city with no name, but won't you take me down? Won't you take me down to El Dorado? Won't you take me down? Won't you take me down to El Dorado? El Dorado. I heard there's a city far away where the roads run long in golden plating. It's such a mystery. I heard there's a city, won't say its name, but won't you let me loose, and I'll bring the juice,
I thought you might choose that. I've had that written down on the shortlist. Obviously, Home with the Devil, which is the title track of your album last year. Would that be up there?
Yeah, that would be probably second or third on my list for sure.
And Anubis, which is also one that you've got a video of.
Oh, Anubis. That surprises me. No way.
So that leads me on to my next question of where does your interest in mythology come from? Because I noticed a lot of your songs are based on various gods or demons.
Yeah.
So where's that from?
Yeah, so I think, to be honest, I was a huge history nerd in school, and I loved the sort of sections like ancient Egypt and all of the stuff where it brings across their beliefs in these just really cool gods and mythical creatures that, I don't know, it sort of pulled me in then way back in school for sure.
I wondered if there was more darker side, someone had hurt you to write songs like that.
I mean, there's definitely an element of that as well.
Right.
You know, there's definitely sort of intertwined, I'd say.
Yeah, so I tried to do some research before, and so I looked up 3 of the names of your songs. So Anubis, Googled this, is the ancient Egyptian god of death, mummification and the afterlife.
Yeah.
Is it Beelzebub? Is a Philistine... Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Is a Philistine god, a major demon, one of the 7 deadly demons. And then there's how do you say this one? Incubus.
Incubus.
Yes. So he's a male demon in folklore.
That's the one.
Believed to seduce and have sexual intercourse with sleeping women to drain their energy. So he sounds like a charmer. So your songs are definitely unique.
Really. That's a word you could use.
So can we talk about your music so far? Where did it all start with you playing songs and songwriting?
I've got to say, when we were all in that lockdown in 2020, I was about 14 and really bored, so I saved up a bunch of pocket money and bought myself a ukulele and would teach myself in my bedroom. And then the songwriting aspect sort of came from my nan was like, why don't you try and write a song for the NHS?
Oh, okay.
So I wrote a song called Every Thursday, which was sort of about the claps, in the, when we'd go outside and clap for the NHS on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So I would sort of bring my little ukulele and stand outside my front door singing it and stuff. And then
that's
from
so cute.
there it just sort of, from that moment it just sort of, I don't know, I just kept going, I suppose, and taught myself, the guitar, the bass, and all of these other bits, and it's just sort of all come from there, really.
So what instruments do you play? Ukulele, guitar and bass. Are they your 3?
Yeah, I dabble on the drums, but I wouldn't trust me too much.
Right.
I had some your primary school violin lessons back in the day, but mainly, guitar, bass, those 2 are the sort of main ones.
Yeah, it was a weird time, those COVID years, but I keep hearing various good things that came out of that, and sounds like for you it was sitting down and learning to play music and write songs.
Yeah.
Ukulele to guitar is quite a natural transition, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I read that you sold out your first gig at 17. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a headline gig. Yeah, so we had this little venue. Unfortunately, it's not here and around anymore, but it was called The Cabin, and me and one of my friends at the time, and we basically sat down together and pulled a bunch of local artists into this sort of lineup, I suppose, and then we headlined it together, and we sort of just sat down, and with the venue they were like, yeah, go for it. So we planned all of this out, he was doing some of the posters and stuff like that, and we managed to somehow fill the capacity. It probably helped with all the families from all of the artists that we invited. There was about 6 of us in total, but it was insane to me at the time, for sure.
That's very, very proactive at 17 to go out and do something like that, and I bet it was a really good experience to learn how to market a gig. It's not just about writing the music, isn't it? It's all the bit you have to do afterwards. So since then, I know you've played some festivals, Haverhill in the Park, Wethersfield. What's your favourite type of gig to play? What are you getting at the moment?
I think this time of year it's generally a lot of pub gigs and sort of small venues and stuff. I do definitely enjoy the festivals that come in the summer. They're a lot of fun, and obviously there's a lot of people to sort of get yourself out to. But I've got to say my favourite are probably like small sort of music venues like the Hunter Club or Portland Arms in Cambridge.
Right.
Those have definitely sort of been my favourite thus far. I'm in Suffolk now. My mum, dad, nan, all of that sort of lived in Essex, and then my mum and dad moved over here. So yeah.
Excellent. So the next song in this fictional open mic brings the mood right down. I call it the sad song section because I love sad songs. When I'm out driving, I often listen to just songs that get in your head, and perhaps songs that aren't as popular, but I love them. So which of those sad songs of yours would you choose for this section? I'm thinking Blood Dries or Bleeding Blue, that kind of a vibe.
Yeah, I would definitely choose those two as well, most likely. Those two are definitely sort of the sad ballads of the stuff I've got out at the moment.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story behind them?
Yeah, of course. To be honest, Bleeding Blue is very fictional for me. I was just sort of thinking of, I think I got inspiration from a song that I was listening to that was like a love song. If I could remember what it was, obviously, I would say. And I just sort of sat there and I'm Bleeding Blue sort of just come out. Like, I just thought of those lyrics and I was like, whoa, okay, let's just roll with this one. But Blood Dries is definitely quite emotional. So my partner's dad, unfortunately, wasn't around for a lot of his life. And sadly, when we were, 19 and 17, he got the he was told that his dad had passed away, and he was really obviously upset about it, but confused about the grieving process at the same time. So he asked me, like, how would you deal with it? And I said, oh, well, I'd probably write a song about it. And he was like, well, can we try that? So we sort of sat down together. Obviously, I was like very careful with what I included, what I didn't include, and it sort of came from there as a way to sort of help him deal with things. And then I was like talking about making the album one day, and he was like, is that one going to be in it? And I was like, it sure can be. So that's sort of where that story originated from.
Yeah, so it's written from his point of view. I wondered if that was your story or someone else's. I personally thought that could have had a few different meanings, but I did think it was
that was
a
definitely
parent.
the goal.
How do you find it when people take a song that you've written and end up attaching a completely different meaning to it? It's a sign of a good song, I suppose.
To be honest, yeah, I suppose. I am very much like, this is why I've written it, but take it however you want to take it. If you want to take Blood Dries as thinking about a partner or a friend, or, you know, someone that you just feel is missing and you're never going to get back, no matter what you're thinking about, like, fair play. Like, it's all to be interpreted however you want. It's just like this, I'm sort of like, you know, my perspective is going to be different on many songs, so I'm quite accepting of it, really.
Yeah, Blood Dries is an excellent song, and I think that wins for being in the Sad Song Society.
How can I say goodbye when we never said hello? And I guess you'd never know that I'd always cry at home. Why is it I see you soon to a person I never knew? Only wanted to meet you. Now I can just dream of you. Oh, the dark days are coming, and I just wanna tell you something. Oh, there's no hard feelings, but if I'd been there, would it be different? So I'll cry over you, someone I never knew, and I'll bleed myself dry. How could you leave a home when you were never home? And how did you break my heart when we weren't close enough to grow apart? So I'll cry over you, someone I never knew, and I'll bleed myself dry over a guy that never took the time. You never took the time. You never took the time. You never took the time. So I'll cry someone I never knew, and I'll bleed myself dry over a guy who never took the time. The blood dries.
Oh, I'd also written down Ballad for a Bastard, just because the title of that one made me smile.
Yeah, that one has a bit of a story, blimey. So it's the verses I actually wrote like down when I was 13 as like a poem.
Wow.
My
okay.
boyfriend at the time, when I was that young, I found out had cheated on me, and I used to write a lot of poetry, so I wrote those down, and then one day I was looking through and I was like, wow, like kid me, like she wrote some lyrics. Okay, let's get this into a song, you know.
13 years old, that's it. Amazing. Okay, so the final song in the open mic, so we've got everyone seated, we've then hit them with a sad song, and then end with your wild card, which anything you like really. People are invested at this point. What song have you been enjoying playing the most at the moment?
I predominantly love ending my gigs with Forbidden Fruit. That
Oh,
one
really?
is such a good one. Yeah, it's a really good one for like crowd interaction, because obviously you've got the whoa, so I would get them to fill in that second whoa, you know, sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a real sort of connector, and then at the end you've got the sort of like frantic instruments going. So if I'm playing acoustically, I'll just like be strumming really fast, like ooh yeah, boom, bada boom, and then I end on like a little pose, and yeah, it's always a good finisher for sure. All right, I'll show you exactly what to do. It's very, very simple, and it would help me out a bunch, so. Okay. All you got to do is repeat after me. Whoa! Whoa! Wow! Where did all you guys sneak in from? Let's do it again. Whoa! Whoa! Perfect. You guys are sounding excellent. This is Forbidden Fruit. Make sure you look out for those whoa-whoas. Daddy always told me, girl, you think before you speak. There's something in the way you move that keeps my knees weak. Mommy always told me, girl, don't bow down to no man. But I'm bending over backwards at the swipe of your bone head. 'Cause you're fire running through my veins, and I'm twisting and I'm turning, find which one of us to blame. Yeah, you're fire, you're my forbidden fruit, and it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. Whoa, whoa, it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. I must say, this is my first time playing in Cambridge, but that is the best I've ever heard that. Daddy always told me, girl, uphold your shoulders high. There's something in the way you speak that breaks my heart, and my mama always told me, girl, go stand up for yourself. I'm stumbling and falling down without your so-called help. 'Cause your fire running through my veins, and I'm twisted and I'm turning, find which one of us to blame. Yeah, your fire, my forbidden fruit, and it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. Whoa, whoa. Said it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. Whoa, whoa. Said it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. Yeah. Your fire running through my veins, and I'm twisting and I'm turning, find which one of us to blame. Yeah, your fire, my forbidden fruit, and it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. Whoa, whoa. Said it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. Whoa, whoa. Said it feels so good to jump down hard now that I've lost the tooth. Yeah. That was absolutely amazing.
Okay, yeah, that's a great one to finish with. I was thinking of a couple of songs I'd heard that weren't on your album. So there's your new single out, and there's a song called Situationship. Is that a new one, or just didn't make it onto the album?
A couple years before the album, I think, is when I first wrote it. That was, yeah, it must have been a few years before. It's definitely probably my favourite out of the old stuff that I've got up there. But it was like I had a like first love breakup situation. Should we get back together? Should we stay apart? Should we do this? Should we do that? So it was a very much emotional, just write and get it out sort of thing.
Speaking of the new single, have you got more to come? Is there another album coming? What's next for you?
Yeah, so up next, 2026, I'm going to be focusing on getting a lot of singles out there. So that, I mean, in the background, I can work on my second album, which topically is going to be all about Greek mythology. So, you know, Minotaur, Medusa, of those sort of things. You know, it's in writing stages at the moment, but I'm hoping to get that out by 2027, hopefully.
Exciting. I love it when an album links together and there's a concept for them. Is that the way you like to write? You like to have a sort of subject in your head and write around that?
Yeah, I mean it's dependent. A song for the second album. I can't believe I'm going to be admitting this, but I was on the toilet at work, and the song just sort of came to me. So I just sort of bashed out a few lyrics. Obviously, returned to my work. But then finished it when I got home. But then it's very dependent. Sometimes I'm like, I want to write a song and I feel it and I will research a topic or something. But other times, you know, life's emotional. It's definitely a therapeutic method for me as well, writing songs, for sure.
When you're not thinking about it, out for a walk or on the toilet, songs appear.
It's an anecdote.
So where can we find you if we want to go to a Chloe Bartlett gig? Where's all your information? Is it on you've got your Facebook page? And so if you want to find any socials, any streaming, any upcoming gigs, want to get tickets or, you know, come along, you can go to www.chloebartlettmusic.com. You can also grab some hoodies, t-shirts, vinyls, etc. of the new album on there, which is pretty cool as well. I love the merch on your website. It was very cool. I was almost tempted to turn up on this call with the hat and hoodie. How are you finding gigs and work at the moment? How are you finding balancing the two?
Yeah, well, I'm actually also a uni student.
Wow.
So
you got a lot going on.
Sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming, but I am quite lucky in that obviously I work part-time. and have music as sort of a little second stream. So a lot of the time I can just, book the day off or something to go and play. So it's dependent on the season, really, because in summer sometimes it's like every weekend my one day off a week is used to gig, and then I'm back to work, and then I'm uni, and then I'm work, and then I'm gig, and then but I love it, so I wouldn't do anything else.
Your first album, I really
yes.
enjoyed listening to it this week. Good luck with all the summer of festivals and gigs that you've got coming up. It's been really, really great speaking with you. I've been looking forward to this. Is there any last things you'd like to add?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate your time and this little opportunity. It's really, really cool. I really love what you guys are doing, and I'll definitely be looking out for stuff in the future. Definitely.
Look forward to chatting again when the next album's out.